Yes, racing sidecars, and it's me doing this, not Wayne, because he just messes about with these trials things. But anyway, you've probably seen it with superbike racing now. Sidecars are back in the big time. But just what are they all about? How do they work? How does the organisation run? I'm going to have a word with Mick Boddice, famous from the Boddice family, and also, if you remember when I did that Mick Boddice training day, the track training day, well, we're here at Darley Moor, going to have a word just how all of this goes together. Give you a hand with this, Mick.
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah. Oh, it hardly needs it, does it?
No.
Where do you want to put it? Just here?
Lightweight. We'll just dump it there, yeah.
Right, so this is it, naked in all its glory. Look, just tell us a little about this bike. First off, what's the engine in it? What motor do you use?
It's a CBR 600, the FP, not the newer Honda. We've stuck with this one because we've been using it for a couple of seasons now, and we know where we're going. We're getting sort of good results with it, so we've stuck with this one for this year. Maybe next year we'll have the newer one.
And this is the current, I mean, the class system gets a bit sort of complicated, well, it does to me, but I mean, the 600 class, that's the standard now, isn't it, in British sidecar racing?
At the moment, yeah. The Formula 2 is the stronger class at the moment. We've got bigger grids than the Formula 1 class.
Yeah.
Although the F1 is the one that people are now watching at home on TV that are with the super
Steve
bikes.
Webster's.
Steve Webster, Steve Abbott, yeah.
Yeah, and all the rest. But anyway, 600 rules the roost then. And how standard is the engine? I mean, can you tweak it or what?
You can do what you like to the engine, as long as you keep it at 600cc.
Yeah.
Anything else goes.
Yeah.
The carburetors have to have a 32mm restrictor on the carburetor.
Right.
So we've only got 4 32mm carburetors in effect.
Right.
But anything else goes.
Yeah, so gas flowing, the whole
Gas
shebang.
flowing, yeah, gearboxes, anything else you can do.
Now, tell us a bit more about it. I mean, I had a go on an outfit not long ago, just a road outfit, and I mean, there's no relationship, does it really?
That's
It's got
right,
three
yeah.
wheels
Yeah.
and it stops there. So first off, the frame that you use. Now, this is a bought-in, it's a standard, this is the Windle frame.
This is a Windle frame, yeah. Tubular steel.
Yeah.
Quite thin-walled tubular steel. It has to be steel for the regulations.
Right.
But it's thin-wall stuff to keep the weight down. Handlebars are the same as you find on any bike. The throttle here.
Yeah.
Clutch here.
Yeah, you're right.
The difference being that this brake here doesn't actually work.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's there for show. It looks nice. All
Yeah.
it does is it's there to keep the scrutineers happy at a race meeting.
Right.
We actually do all the braking with the left foot, which is that brake it's down there.
Right. So is this that the regulations haven't kept pace with modern racing then, really, has it? I mean...
Not really, no. There's moves afoot to get these small hand levers scrapped because they're there just basically for show. Yeah. We don't use it.
All the braking, yeah.
Yeah. And we've got 2 big discs on the front. There's a big disc on the sidecar wheel, and there's also a big disc on the rear wheel. And that 1 foot brake operates all 3 wheels.
The whole lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Are they balanced at all, or do they all come on together? I mean,
They basically come on together. There's a slight balanced bias towards the front, but basically they all come on together.
Right. It's not like a sort of rally cars where you can adjust the bias to one wheel or the other. It's
Not really. You
no.
can on the F1 bikes,
yeah.
but not on the F2s.
Okay. Right. Now, what else with these? Suspension-wise, I can see at the front leading link forks. You need that because the side loads that you got on this bit, it's absolutely fantastic, aren't they? Hence these big tyres.
That's right, yeah. And the slick tyres are producing a lot of grip.
Yeah.
As you can see, we haven't actually got that much suspension movement, only sort of an inch of movement on the front and the rear.
Yeah.
So it gives quite a rough ride, especially somewhere bumpy like the TT races in the Isle of Man.
Right.
But apart from that, it's quite comfortable.
Yeah. And are these actually, they're car racing wheels, aren't they? Or
These are actually
purpose-made?
specific Yokohama sidecar tyres.
Oh, right.
They're actually made for racing on sidecars.
Yeah. Whereas the early days, they were car wheels
They were,
adopted,
yeah,
weren't
yeah,
they?
yeah.
And so, what else have we got? We've got the radiator down in the sidecar.
Radiator down there, 4-into 2-into-1 exhaust, just
Yeah.
for performance as much as anything.
Yeah.
Carbon fibre silencer to keep the weight down. CBR 600 engine, as we've said.
Yeah.
It's got a programmable digital ignition, so we can alter the map of the ignition
Right.
to suit circuits, weather conditions, just to give us maximum power or maximum drive, depending on whether it's wet or dry or somewhere like here at Darley Moor, we go for a balance between mid-range power and top speed.
Right.
So you tune the ignition to give you as much mid-range as you can to get you out the slow corners and fire you down these straights as quickly as possible.
And talking about firing down the streets, what sort of top speed have you got on these? We'll say at a circuit like Darley. You
A
gear
circuit
it up
like here at
differently.
Darley, yeah, we gear them differently. Here at Darley Moor, I'd say you'd probably be looking at around about 140 miles an hour
Yeah.
as you come into this last corner here, and then hit the brakes and slow down probably to about 80 or 90 miles an hour.
Do you use a special gearbox? Is it close ratio?
It's close ratio gearbox in this one, yeah.
Yeah, but is that special? I mean, is it a road box or?
No, it's specially made.
Is it?
For racing purposes.
Right.
We uprate the clutch as well to cope with the extra horsepower and the 9-inch rear tyre that we run.
Yeah. So no, it's an amazing device. And how would the weight of this compare with the Solo? You got any idea? I mean, is it much heavier?
It's slightly lighter.
Is it?
Yeah, because everything that you don't need, lights, indicators, is all thrown away. There's no starter motor on it. We have to push it to get it going.
Yeah.
So everything that you don't need is thrown away.
Right. Yeah.
The basic frame is the same as a Solo. We've got a slight extra bit on the side, but it's made with very thin tubes, so the weight there is negligible anyway. The biggest problem we have against a Solo is we've got a much bigger frontal area.
Yeah.
So we're not so quick down the straights as a Solo, but we're a lot quicker around the corners.
Yes, I know. So I've noticed. And last thing, where do you do most of your racing now? I mean, I know Darley Moor is a favourite. Croft, do you do some at?
We do Croft, Cadwell Park, Mallory Park, all the circuits that they see British Superbikes go to. We're there either a week before or a week after they're there.
And of course the Isle of Man as well.
And of course the Isle of Man, highlight of the year.
How do you get on with the Isle of Man? Because I mean, it looks incredible. It's so bumpy, isn't it, and bouncy. It must take a lot out of you.
It does. The 3 laps of the TT, it kills you basically. It's trying to throw you off the bike all the time. It's in a constant tank slap for the whole of the 3 laps because we've got no suspension. You're fighting it all the way around.
Yeah.
There are a few places now where it's getting a bit smoother, but then they're sort of counterbalanced with the stuff that's getting bumpier now. But it's good fun.
Fantastic. So tell me, can I have a go in the chair? I'm a bit big for sidecar work, aren't I? Really, as a passenger or what?
Well, I think
extra
you'll
bit
fit
of weight. I'll squeeze in, will I?
I should think so.
Let's give it a crack then.
Maybe even have a drive of it later as well.
Oh yeah, yes please, we'll have a go at that. At 6'2" and 14 stone, I'm not the ideal size for a racing passenger, but after some very brief instructions, we were off. The G-forces were amazing, and just trying to cling on, let alone do any acrobatics, was hard enough. Right-hand corners were fairly easy, except for bruising your ribs, but shifting to the left was a no-no. What it's like racing on the TT circuit, I hate to think. A sort of fairground whirlets of gum bananas. Respect is the word.
It's fantastic! We got that world all the way up! So what's this time of gone?
Being somewhat bigger than Mick, I didn't quite fit into the hot seat. But what the heck, who needs comfort? With a brave Mick acting as ballast, we set off for a lap. But after sort of getting the hang of things, I did another lap just for the fun of it all. Mine, not his, you understand. The CBR 600 motor, growling away just inches from your chin, let you knew this was very real as we hooked up through the 6-speed gearbox to a zillion miles an hour. Or at least that's what it felt like, just 2 foot off the ground. Slithering around and lifting wheels was fantastic fun, but it did bring home to me that sidecar racing is a very definite art.
Wow, well that was fantastic. Didn't get the left-hand corners sorted because you've got to be very agile to move from the one side to the other, still hang on here and not forget. But he's not a bad pilot, this guy. And I'll tell you what, this 600 in an outfit can really go some. It's quite incredible. But anyway, I think he's off for an early shower now. That was amazing. Whew.